This MX-5 is categorically the most problematic car I have ever bought. And that's because it's thrown every possible problem my way. The main ones being a blown head gasket, rusty chassis legs and snapped ABS sensors, which took hours to drill out. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I also then didn't expect to be buying a new engine to find out that this engine needs the timing belt replacing to get to the water pump, which is the issue that the old engine had. So when people have been asking where is the trading up series and what's happened to it, well, this car has cost me a lot of money, but it's also cost me even more time. And in today's episode, we're going to be stripping down this engine to do the timing belt, to get these timing belt covers replaced and putting a new rocker cover on so this can then get lifted back into the car. But first, I want to go through exactly what we have replaced on this MX-5 and roughly how much it has cost. Now you might be wondering why I'm putting myself through all this. Well, it's to trade up from a £200 Ford Focus to a BMW E46 M3. But that dream is wearing thin because the repairs on this car have cost so much more than I expected. I'm not going to make any money on this car. The purchase price was £1,000 and since then we've spent £928.58 on repairs, and if you want to see those repairs, click the pop-out banner to watch the full series from the beginning. And here is yet another box of parts, which is not much bigger than a shoebox, and it's cost £100. That's without my time being put into this car, and I have said throughout this series I'm not valuing my time at all. One, because I won't be making any money, and two, I'm not looking to pay myself a wage. All I am looking to do is reinvest every little bit of money we put into this series into the next car, so one day I can own a retro dream, which is obviously the E46 M3. It's a car that I've adored for many years. I think it's the best aging BMW on the market, and I thought this MX-5 was really going to promote me on that trajectory of being able to buy one. But since all this has happened, there's only one thing that's happened with E46 M3s. They have gone up in price, whereas you could get a coupe for about 15 grand. Now they're more like 17 grand. So we need to get this car sorted quick. We need to get another one to flip and do the same again. And I estimate by the time I've sold this, added up what I made on the silver MX-5 which we sold, and if you haven't seen that episode, click the pop-out banner at the top of the screen. All I did was wash that car and I made nearly £1,000 on it. Obviously we bought a Honda Civic, to which I've done nothing with yet. If we sell the Civic for say 1,200 quid, if we get about 2.5 grand for this with what we got for the other one, we'll have about 5 to 6 grand to roll into something else. And that right there is the key to our success. 5 grand puts us on a completely different path of profit margins. Yeah, it could mean more expensive problems, but it could also mean faster cash, and who doesn't love that? So, here is the box of truth. I'm going to open it up. There we go. £97.19. So, this is a timing belt kit with tensioners. So we've also got a gasket for the rocker cover, because I am going to put the silver rocker cover off the old engine onto the new engine because I don't like that purple one. We also have the tensioner pulleys in here. Those are there. And then a little tool, what is this? Some sort of spring, don't know what that's for, I need to look back at the instructions. And we've got a brand new water pump with gaskets, and the reason for that is if we're going to go to the effort of stripping this engine down to that point, it just makes absolute economical sense to put a new water pump in. If we don't do that and the water pump fails, we've got to go through all that process again, so you might as well do it whilst it's there. But then what we are going to do is go back to the other engine, strip that down and see if the head gasket has gone. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be absolutely fuming if the head gasket hasn't gone and I've gone to all this effort. But this is a learning curve, and this is what happens when you're not a mechanic and you just do this for fun. Anyway, the last thing I have bought is a little metal device here, and what this is going to do, this is going to lock off the camshafts and keep the timing on the engine whilst we swap the belt. Now you can do this without one of these if you're a pro. I'm not a pro. I think that was about 10 quid. You push it between the cams and that basically stops the timing moving while we're messing about with the belt. Now, let's touch on that water pump comment, because I think we need to take a look at that in more detail. But what a lot of people said in the comments was head gaskets don't tend to fail on the NB MX-5s. What tends to happen instead is the water pump, the impeller at the back either seizes or corrodes away, and as the bearing is spinning, it's disengaged from the impeller, hence it's not pumping water around the engine, which would cause it to overheat. Now, if that's been happening, which I believe it has, and the mileage that I drove this car to go and get an MOT and the amount of times it overheated, if you've not seen that video, click the pop-out banner because it was a nightmare. And if this car's been overheating quite a few times, I think the head gasket would have been cooked anyway. So, I'm not gonna leave that page unturned. Once we have done the timing belt on the new engine, we're going to strip this down and we are going to see if the head gasket has failed. But for now, we'll begin with stripping down the new engine. Now, all these belts we actually replaced on the old engine. So all these knackered ones that are coming off the new engine are going to go in the bin, and the ones that we replaced previously are going to go on this new engine, if that makes sense. Something that doesn't make sense is how much of a headache this car has been. MX-5s are meant to be bulletproof, aren't they? Now we're just taking the cam cover off, but this car has been messed about with because there should be a 10mm bolt here, and instead it's an Allen key. There's always one, I think. Is it a 4mm? Yes, it is. That's quite annoying. So we'll be pinching a bolt off the other engine to get rid of this, I think. That should just come off nice and free. We'll put that there, and I will put all the bolts back in little tubs in a second so we don't lose them, so we know where everything's going. All the HT leads are independent lengths, so we don't need to number them taking them off. If you was on a different car, then 100% number them, because sometimes they're all the same length and you need to make sure they go back in the correct firing order. But with this, where the lead lies is where the lead goes. Did you know, Japanese cars, why do they use 14mm bolts and not 13mm bolts? It's because the Japanese thought 13 was an unlucky number, so you will not find a 13mm bolt on a Japanese car unless somebody has put it there. And here it is. This is the belt in question, and to be honest with you, it looks in quite good condition. There's not much, in fact there's no perishing on that whatsoever. So it's going to get replaced anyway because the covers are obviously knackered, and we'll do the water pump while we're here just for the sake of it. And this is the first timing belt I will have ever done on a car, so we'll see if it goes to plan. Next, we've got to take these covers off, take the thermostat housing off, work our way down to get access to the water pump. So I started to unbolt the timing belt covers. To do this, you'll need to remove the bottom pulley, but for that I whipped out Nikita. You'll understand why I call it that in a second. Just while we're down here, there is literally no way you will get that off unless you have got a buzz gun. And the one I have just used is a Temu Makita gun. I'm absolutely surprised that that came off. In other words, it's a fake Makita gun. It says it does 400 foot-pound of torque, but it struggled. It smelt a bit when it was doing it, but it got the bolt out, so that's the main thing. Just look at the damage on that. That is because that bolt on the engine has snapped in there, which is highly, highly frustrating. Don't know how we're going to fix that. And obviously this has been rattling as the belt's going round, and it's rubbed, and I'm surprised it's not caused the belt to snap. I mean, look at the damage on that. Madness. I'm actually going to give these a bit of a rub down and a paint before they go back on, just to make it look a bit newer and a bit more smart. I'm not going to go where the belt goes because obviously we could cause that to slip, so I'm just going to rub the tops down here, give them a paint before they go back on. So now we have access to the belt, we need to get the engine into a timed position before we take this off. And I can tell the timing belt has been done before in this engine because the timed marks have been marked with a bit of white paint. They've actually marked the pulleys at the top and also the engine block here. Now you've got two marks, you've got I for inlet, E for exhaust. Those both need to lock out at this 45-degree mark down here. Now we're going to have to crank the engine over, which means we're going to have to put the pulley bolt back in. But don't worry, if you crank it over once and it still doesn't line up, the engine can rotate twice for the camshafts to rotate once, I believe. So I reinstated the pulley and cranked the engine over 2 full rotations to get it to top dead center. Then I locked off the timing with my handy little device and began removing the tensioner, pulleys and belt. The kit I bought comes with everything brand new, including the tension spring. Cheaper kits don't offer this, so do be careful when ordering one. Then I fitted the water pump, but first cleaning off the surface and any old gasket material before fitting the new gaskets. Once this was done, we put it all back in reverse, excluding the timing covers, as I'd need to remove the snapped bolts first. Just need to weld a nut onto them, wind them out, and then take the timing belt covers off the old engine, transfer them over, and then this can go back in. So I'm going to do that off camera because it's quite a stressful job and it's going to take a bit of time and it's a bit boring to watch. So I'll sort that out in another video. However, I need to ask you a lot of questions. Obviously with the timing belt kit now on this car, it's taken the total spend, including buying it, to just over £2,000. I think I'm going to advertise this car for $2,750, maybe $2,800, and if I can get that for it, there's still a little bit of margin in there. There is a few areas that are a little bit tatty on it. So the question is, do you think it's worth my time sorting this little bit of bubbling rust out on this arch and the rear wheel arches, and do you think it is going to make me be able to sell the car for more money, to say maybe get £3,500 for it? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and also let me know what car you think I should buy next, because once this has gone, we've got the Civic to sort out, which, to be fair, looking at it, it needs a battery, a good clean inside, and maybe a bit of paint. So we'll probably bring that up here and we might rattle can it or paint it just to make it look a bit more presentable to sell it on. I'm not going to do a full respray because it's going to cost too much money, but I want to know what I should buy next, because the money we're going to roll out of all these, I said it'll be about 4.5 to 5, possibly 6 grand, depending what we get for this, and that is Porsche Boxster money. But what scares me with Porsche Boxsters is the repair costs and how much the parts actually cost to buy and how complicated of a car they are to work on. However, I do know where there is a Boxster S that's been sat for ages and the owner is potentially willing to sell it. But I think we're a little bit out on the money because there's a lot of work it needs. The interior's got mold on it. It doesn't start. It needs a new fuel pump. They're like 400 quid. So let me know below. Should I go down the Porsche route, or should I stick to things like this that are cheap to move on? Or should I go to Copart and maybe get something like a damaged Peugeot 208? Let me know what you think below. In the meantime, subscribe, like, drop us a comment, hype the video if the option is there to do so, and make sure you do everything in style. How about that?